Hey guys, it's 2020, and VR has been declared dead 3 times already, but with the release of Half-Life Alyx, the surge of players in the VR space has been fantastic. That said, VR has unfortunately been inundated by games wildly varying in quality, from feature-complete stories to abandonware that looks neat but is unplayable, to uninspired asset flips that unfortunately leave you feeling sorry for yourself in more ways than one. It's important now, looking back at the VR experiences we've had, to find those gems and bring them forward to the daylight and maybe scrutinize some old favorites from the lens of a modern VR experience. Not necessarily for ourselves, but maybe for the new people coming into VR who want to find some of our old favorites and introduce them into their library. Arizona Sunshine is a zombie looter shooter set in, you guessed it, Arizona. There's a campaign mode and a horde mode, and if you aren't satisfied with the initial touted 3-hour-long campaign, you can plunge for the extra DLC and experience events preceding the setting of the main Arizona Sunshine campaign. The campaign itself is what you would expect, unfortunately, from a game all the way from 2016. You go from setting to setting exploring minor mechanics like keys and winches, looting cars and cabinets for ammo and other goodies like the odd stray gun in a filing cabinet. I haven't been able to play through the campaign in co-op yet, but I imagine co-op would give it a lot more life, and therefore a lot more joy and replayability. It's not that the campaign is bad by any means, it simply shows its age in a time when actions like opening car doors and trunks have lost their novelty through exposure, as it likely influenced many titles going forward. However, much like in classic video games, just because it did it first doesn't mean it did it best. Arizona Sunshine struggles with some aspects of the functionality, the guns being locked to a very arcadey loop of push button to empty clip, bring to waist to fill clip, as opposed to any real sense of interactivity, which was clearly not to its favor as Pavlov, the current mainstay for most popular VR shooter, dropped months later with in-depth gunplay, making Arizona Sunshine's steep price tag seem even less reasonable. That's the real problem with Arizona Sunshine as far as I can tell. Its sound design is fine, the guns are fun to shoot, they all sound and fire differently enough to allow a player to look and seek out a sense of variety, and the zombies dying are satisfying every time. There's the ragdolls locking into place mid-animation in a way that I haven't been able to personally replicate in my designs. But ultimately, it's not worth the steep price tag of around $40 Canadian for me at the time of recording. But also at the time of recording, Arizona Sunshine is on sale for $16 on Steam, and I think that's a much more fair price for the campaign and co-op experience given, especially given my next segment, Horde Mode. Horde Mode is likely the biggest redeeming quality of Arizona Sunshine. It's intended to be played with other people and allows for 4-player lobbies hosted through matchmaking online. It's incredibly unlikely to find more than 1 or 2 games going, and if you aren't comfortable gaming with children, you should probably play single player or get some friends. I personally just mute them, but the tiny white-faced cowboys running around frighten me more than the zombies at times. The Horde mode plays out similarly like Call of Duty Zombies, but instead of points, you simply rely on your ability to search and find keys and doors yet to unlock. There are puzzles you can figure out, and loot to be had in every nook and cranny, and while the zombies can get a bit much, there's never a shortage of ammo to use. I think the Horde mode alone would be worth $16 if it had a couple more maps. Maybe the devs could revisit Arizona and give us a handful of slap-together bad boys for another paid DLC. I know I'd buy it. So at the end of the day, is Arizona Sunshine worth buying in 2020? Honestly, at full price, I can't recommend it. There are a lot more games that you would have a lot more fun with for $40. But for the sale price, around $16, for me at the time of recording, it's a lot easier to swallow. I'm confident that the Horde mode alone will give me more than enough gameplay over the coming quarantine with friends and my dad, who actually bought me the game. Thanks, Dad. If there's another game you'd like me to take a look at, please leave it down in the comments, and maybe give me a like and a subscribe if you feel like it. This is my first video like this, and hopefully, if it does well, I'll keep making more. I'll likely keep making more anyways, because I'm bored and I need something to do. This has been Damon. I hope your day doesn't suck.